Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Emily Rich. I'm the Director of Startups for Microsoft for Asia Pacific. And thanks for joining us for this webinar. The webinar today is going to cover the value of selling your products on the marketplace, Microsoft's commercial marketplace, what's required to actually list your product, what are the best practices for attracting new customers, what the Microsoft Marketplace actually gives your solution access to. So we have over 90,000 resellers, for example. And so what we're basically going to do today is hear from our speaker around unlocking marketing, sales, technical benefits that all come with Marketplace and the rewards around that. So I am going to jump straight into it and introduce our speaker today. So today we have Aditee, and Aditee is the Director of ISV Sales and Partnerships at Microsoft. So her role is focused around leading transformative engagements with large enterprises, strategic partnerships with ISVs. For those of you who don't know the acronym ISV, it means Independent Software Vendor, and technical strategy for our customers and partners to build a healthy cloud business. So I'm going to hand over. Aditee is going to do about 30 minutes of content. We'll have 15 minutes of Q&A. Also, feel free to use the chat function because you will be muted throughout. So any questions that you think of as Aditee is talking, feel free to drop them in the chat or use the Q&A function at the end. All right, I'll hand over to you, Aditee. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Emily. Am I audible?
You are, and
Awesome.
we can see you.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily, and thank you everybody for joining in today. We're going to be discussing how to leverage the Azure or commercial marketplace, as we call it, for your business and for growing your business into the enterprises that we manage and we engage with at customers. So let me start with basically setting the context, right? The reason why this team exists to even work with ISVs or product companies or startups or any B2B companies is because our customers are transforming much faster than what they had expected. You've obviously read reports about how digital transformation has accelerated 4 times in the last 1 year as compared to anything else in the past. We've added, maybe 10 times worth of more 10 times more hardware in our cloud in 1 month than what we would have done in the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. So the pace of transformation is really, really fast. But the challenge is that customers do not have the agility to move at the pace that they're required to. A couple of years ago, we did a survey with most of our enterprises across the world, and they said, look, we know that we need to be transforming faster. We need to adopt digital technologies, and we need to move towards a technology-led business rather than our regular business. And that's well understood. There was another thing that they said, which was really, really interesting, and I think all of us should know that. They said that if we don't do this in the next 3 or 4 years, then the threat is of extinction. So we don't really have a choice. Leading with technology and leading with digital technologies is a survival need for us. And then you look at what happened in the pandemic. If you take the enterprises out, because they're fairly mature in terms of their technology practices, but if you look at what happened with these small and medium businesses, in a matter of literally overnight, they didn't know how to run their businesses anymore because they had not thought about how technology could help them work remotely, or how technology could help them sell digitally, or how technology could help them engage with their customers and partners and vendors and the entire ecosystem. So for the SMB business or SMEs, this was literally like an eye-opening moment. So coming back to the relevance of our existence, the reason we exist is because customers do have this problem of agility, and the ISV solutions, the products that you guys build, are actually a way to help them get over that curve much faster. So very often our customers will come back to me, especially I look after the India market. So a lot of the customers will come back to me and say, "Hey, look, I'm looking at a very different way of doing employee engagement. Do you have something that can help me do this really quick?" Or I'm looking at a loyalty rewards program. I don't have the time to build it grounds up because that'll take me 6 months. Do you have something we can quickly plug in? Or I'm looking at something like you know, India is 25 different states and 50 different languages. So do you have something that will help me talk to all of these dialects and languages that we have? If we start building it grounds up, it's going to take us, I don't know, maybe 5 years to do it. So these are the kind of problem statements that we get thrown at all the times. And therefore, our endeavor is to go back into the ecosystem and look at product companies, startups, B2B SaaS companies, ISVs, traditional companies that cater to these problem statements, and we can get them in front of the customer really, really quick. So that's the essence of why we even do what we're doing today, and the reason why we're talking to you. Now, if you look at Microsoft, what we've done is, of course, is the Azure platform, and the Azure platform consists of the infrastructure, data, big data analytics, your artificial intelligence, hyperscale computing, graphical processing, uh, and all of the things, in addition to building a cloud native ability to build a cloud native infrastructure for yourself. So you've got the infra layer, you've got the cloud native layer, which is containers and PaaS services and pay as you go services, etc. And then you've got the data and the AI piece, which is great. And people generally look at Microsoft as just the Azure cloud, and compare us to our competitors in terms of what we can do on the infra data and cloud native piece. But Microsoft Cloud is much beyond that. What we've done is we've tried to create a very comprehensive landscape for both our customers and our partners to work on. So the Microsoft Cloud, the underlying layer for all of that is a core principle on security and identity, which is the fundamental of any service or any product that we build. Then on top of that, we've said, okay, what do we need to do with power users? So you've got Microsoft Platform, Power Platform that helps you build automated workflows, even if you don't understand technology or you've never written a line of code in your entire life. And then on top of the Power Platform is the Dynamics 365 set of applications which give you CRM, field engagement, customer insights, and a whole bunch of other modules that you can integrate to do your business better. Then the other side is, what do we do with developers? So for the ecosystem, we acquired GitHub a couple of years ago, and we've tried to integrate the entire, not just the source code management of GitHub, but also the entire DevOps process into Azure plus GitHub combined. Then above GitHub is, then you've done the power users, you've done the business users. How do you build productivity features? So that's where the Microsoft 365 cloud comes in, Office, Windows, and everything else that we use as endpoints for our work to do today, including email, of course. And then you've got LinkedIn that sits in the center, and that kind of encompasses your field sales and your professional engagements. So yes, LinkedIn is a great professional network tool, but it's also a great tool to drive your sales digitally. It's a great tool to understand signals to get from customers. It's a great tool to integrate into your applications and figure out what you can do with your potential customers differently. And then, these are all horizontals. On top of that, we've said that, look, we want to go and transform industries faster, and we can't have a one solution fits all problem. So we said, okay, what does an FSI industry really need? What does a healthcare industry need? What does retail really need? And then underlying all of that, we said, how do we bring in the element of ESG, sustainability across all of these layers? So for example, we created a sustainability cloud, we created a SaaS solution out of it, and this SaaS solution integrates into your cloud, into your on-premise, into your AWS environment, GCP environment, into your Azure environments, etc., and gives you a report on how are you really emitting and controlling carbon emissions. For the FSI, we've done integration, we've done SaaS solutions to help you understand regulatory requirements, data residency requirements, and so on and so forth. Then on top of the industry clouds, beyond all of this, is where the products sit, your products sit. So I have an ISV that has done a brilliant job of, and the reason I'm using this example is because we just discussed it yesterday. They've done a brilliant job of integrating sustainability related reporting for HR, so social and governance pieces of the ESG, into their application, and they sit on top of our industry cloud. So therefore, this is probably the most comprehensive cloud that you would actually come across. And when we compare ourselves to our compete, it's just a layer that matters. Microsoft Cloud is much more than just an infrastructure provider or an AI provider or a cloud native provider. So with that, what do we do with product companies going forward? So here's the thing, right? When we have such a comprehensive cloud, we want to also ensure that our customers are able to um, change their procurement, and we sort of educate them with what we call as modern procurement practices. 99% of our customers today buy from commercial marketplace. And the reason they buy from commercial marketplace is because they realize that best of class solutions are available on the commercial marketplace for them to consume. But that's not the only reason they do that. The reason they do that is also our customers, our strategic customers, our corporate customers, they commit to partnering with Azure or partnering with Microsoft for a certain consumption or digital transformation that they intend to have. As an example, a customer would come to us and say, look, I'm going to spend, I don't know, $50 million with Microsoft over the next 3 years. Against that $50 million, which I'm committing to you, and I'm not going to pay you upfront, but I'm committing that I'll spend this money. What will you give me? And we tell them, great, if you're going to do that, then we're going to give you a bunch of discounts on the top SKUs that you use. We're going to give you a bunch of credit that you can use as part of your development, POCs, etc. In addition, we will also give you the ability to buy from the marketplace, which helps you retire the entire amount of what you buy. So what does this really mean? Let's say you are a product that sells to a customer end to end for $100. Of the $100, maybe $10 is your spend on Azure or on Microsoft Cloud. And this $10 is the hosting, infrastructure, etc., services that you will leverage and so on. The remaining $90 is what you charge the customer for your IP, for your, I don't know, the licensing cost, for configuration cost, and so on and so forth. We give the customer the ability to retire the entire $100 from the commitment they made to Microsoft. And these commitments are obviously tracked because it's a commitment, therefore it's a legal agreement, although we don't take any money upfront. So this is actually a huge benefit for the customer because they can then do a couple of things. They can go back to the CFO of the organization and say, look, I need a commitment of $50 million to work with Microsoft over the next 3 years. I don't want to come to you for every project and every innovative idea that I have in mind and every new application that I want to build. Give me this bulk because I commit to you, we will spend it, and we will spend it on certain initiatives, and here's a plan for it. So the CFOs also sort of, aligned to this thinking. They put it in their books and they say, okay, we're committing 50 million for our CIO, and they don't need to come to us with every project ask. So this works for them. The other benefit, the other benefit that they get, and I'll just move on to the next slide to explain this better. The other benefit that they get is as follows. Typically, customers work with 4 or 5 partners. These 4 or 5 partners include maybe 3 SIs, like an Wipro or an Infosys or one of the big implementation partners that they have. They'll probably have one advisory and they'll have a couple of product companies. For each one of these, they would have signed an enterprise agreement, a long-term enterprise agreement, which is great. And then comes an innovative startup like, say, InMobi or Tanla, and they say, look, I can actually completely change the way you do SMS and transform and interactions with your customers. And I will make sure that every message that you send is tracked end to end, and you get a report of whether that message is opened or not, so that you really know whether you're getting ROI on the investment that you're putting in sending messages, SMSs to customers. And now, here is what happens. The CIO likes the solution, the marketing officer likes the solution. Then there's an entire process of vendor registration, vendor vetting, enterprise agreement creating, agreeing on the dollar value of the money that they'll spend with the product company and so on and so forth. So the sales process or convincing the customer that this solution is most important for you and it'll give you business returns is probably a 2-week exercise. But the process that goes after, which is the onboarding of this product company as one of the vendors, is a 6-7 month process because there's legal involvement, there's external vetting, there's auditing, and there's a whole bunch of things. With commercial marketplace, we get rid of the second part completely. Because what we're telling the customers is you simply go to the commercial marketplace and you buy off from there. You pay Microsoft, Microsoft will pay the partner. It's as simple as that. You're not you don't have to worry about, hey, do you know if this solution works? This company is real or not? Because we would have done that vetting at our end before we let you come onto the marketplace. We would have done a whole bunch of vetting processes with you. You don't need to create new vendor contracts. You don't need to go create new budgets. So that is how our customers stand to benefit significantly beyond commitment to beyond meeting their commitments to Azure, bringing on new vendors. Now, you know, today when I work with some of our customers that have, adopted the commercial marketplace, the 5 to 6 average vendors that they work with has gone to 15 to 20. Somebody's doing something with loyalty, somebody's doing something with customer data management, somebody's doing a GST application, someone else is doing an AI chatbot for them, somebody else is powering HR, somebody else is creating IoT and digital twins for them. Suddenly it opens up doors to different companies to work together with these customers and make things happen. Okay. So the commercial marketplace, when you get on board, this is not just about a particular geography. When you get on board and when customers look at what the commercial marketplace is, they get access to partners across all the geographies that Microsoft is operating in. They get access to 17 currencies. More importantly, we've made sure that every country that we engage with, uh, their tax regimes are included into our commercial marketplace story. So if you're sitting in Singapore and selling into Dubai, we will take care of the taxation between what happens when a company sells from Singapore into Dubai. And then, of course, we have the payout mechanism is monthly. You get the customers get a bill from one of our partners. Customer pays the partner. Partner pays Microsoft. You don't have to wait for that whole process to happen. You get paid in your billing cycle as you go ahead. Okay, for the IP, and I'll talk about incentives in a bit. For the IP that you sell, for the $100 that you were supposed to get because of selling of this IP, you will get the $100, actually not $197, as immediate payout in the monthly cycle that you have. Now, so I'm going to skip this for a bit. Hang on. Okay, now from a partner perspective, again, what is the benefit of bringing your solutions in the marketplace, right? We have a mechanism to work with all of our ISVs, product companies, and startups. We basically distribute that in 3 phases. We call it the build phase, wherein you and our team sit together, understand your product, understand your roadmap, and then help you architect your solution on Azure in the right way. Now, you would appreciate that because you're building a product, you understand the domain really well. And because you're building the product, you understand the technology you will use to build the product really well. But with Microsoft, you will also understand the platform along with that Azure brings to the table, or any of the Microsoft Cloud components bring to the table much better. For example, one of our customers said that, look, I have this great product. I'm not getting enough adoption. What do we do with it? So we told him that why don't you just simply create a Teams integrated application for your product, and you will get the adoption that you need, because Teams is becoming the front end for all of our productivity experiences. And we worked with them, built the Teams app together. And today their adoption, their monthly average rate users is approximately 80 to 90%. So that's really, really good in terms of how they've grown in their adoption rates. So that's the first phase, the build phase. We'll work with you in terms of architecting the entire solution on Azure as an infra and also leveraging the other Microsoft Cloud pieces to put together. The second bit is what we call as co-sell. So the co-sell journey is it's interesting because we work with partners. We're very, very confident that their solutions make a difference to the market. And therefore we ask you for, hey, who are your reference customers? Who are the, where are your sellers based on? How are your sellers selling today? And then we get you and we work with you to say, tell us which are your top 10 customers that you must have as part of your growth strategy going forward. And then we engage with our seller community and your um, sales teams to say, take this ISV to this customer and position the solution to them. So the question you're going to ask is, why should a Microsoft seller take your ISV to a customer? How does that even matter to them? What we've done is we've incentivized our sellers to take your solution to the customer. When you become a co-sell ready partner and co-sell incentivized partner with Microsoft, my seller community gets to retire a certain quota from their uh, revenue commitments. And obviously, when they do that, they get the full salary and bonuses and stuff like that. So they're supremely incentivized to take your solution to the market, to the customer, and make sure that the sale closes. So we'll open the doors for you. We'll let you run the entire engagement. If there are any blockers in along the way, we'll help you take the blockers off. But the commercial closure will depend on you to make it happen. And that is because we don't get involved in any commercial discussions between the customer and the partner. So that's the co-sell engagement. And then finally, there's the GTM engagement, which is to say that how are you thinking about building mindshare for your product? So for example, Microsoft does all of these events that we're talking about. And in my talk track, I'm using a lot of names. These names you will remember top of mind because, hey, Microsoft talked about this particular ISV called Tanla, who does a fantastic CPaaS solution, or a company called Sterlite Technologies that does a fantastic telecom solution. How are you building this brand for you? So we do a couple of things. We do what we call as um, spray and pray approach, wherein we'll host a webinar and we'll invite a whole bunch of our customers across all enterprise segments to that webinar and get about 5 or 6 partners to talk about their solutions. That's a spray and pray approach. Or we could go very deep and say, hey, Mr. Partner, tell me 25, 30, 50 names that you're interested in. And more importantly, tell me the persona that we should reach out to. For example, an HR solution, there's no point in reaching out to the CIO for it. Or for a security solution, there's no point in reaching out to the CFO for it. So we have to be very specific about the persona within the organization that we'll reach out to. And then we'll invite a whole bunch of CHROs into a webinar and then get 4 or 5 partners from the HR domain, learning domain, talent acquisition, talent management domain to present their solutions to them. And this is the way we help you build your brand and also get you in front of customers in a very deep manner, in a very sort of uh, purposeful manner. It's not just, hey, we are a partner with so and that's about it. We're getting purposeful about this. So that's how we engage with our partners to make this happen. Now, so this is the Microsoft commitment to you. So what is your commitment to us? Because obviously we need something back from you to make this real, right? So the first is obviously leveraging the Microsoft Cloud. That's hygiene. In addition, we also want you to be able to transact via the marketplace so that the customers that come to this conversation can benefit for their commitment that they made to Microsoft. These are the only 2 asks. You work with Microsoft Cloud and you have a transactable solution on the commercial marketplace that we can help take to our customers. Okay, now coming to some statistics. On the commercial marketplace, we have approximately 4 million users and about 35,000 applications today. But that's not the important bit. You think of it like this, right? Today, if you look at any geography that Microsoft operates in, there is a certain set of customers that are managed in the sense they will have a account executive, they will have a technology strategist, they will have a bunch of digital sellers, they'll have cloud solutions architects, they'll have partners. They're the ones who drive, I know, 60, 70% of our business, right? Then there's the whole long tail. In India itself, there are approximately 300,000 SMEs. How do we reach out to them? We can't have a Microsoft person, or even for that matter, a partner person go talk to these guys. There are 300,000 of them. We can't reach out to them, right? So what we do is use digital. And because we use digital, we push all the traffic back to the commercial marketplace. And because we push that traffic to commercial marketplace, they become self-serving customers for us who simply come to the marketplace and buy what they want. And of course, we get a full sort of record of who's buying, what are they buying, how are they buying. And then if there's a really big customer turning out over there, then we can go and speak to them. So just last week, we came across a partner who was just interested, a customer actually, who was just interested in Azure Cognitive Services, just exploring it. And as we went through the engagement with them, we realized that this is going to be a really big customer for us. And we want to bring them completely on Azure. So you have the ability to leverage the marketplace to not just sell your solutions, but also cross sell, upsell to existing customers and see what more you can do with them, right? So how do we get onto commercial marketplace? It's really simple. Sorry, I think that's the next one. Let me just come back here for a bit. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Just getting onto this. The slide should have come before, but it's now. So how do you get onto commercial marketplace? It's really simple. You have 4 ways of engaging with the commercial marketplace. There is the listing of your solution. You can create a trial offer. You can create a bring your own license, which means if you sold your license, you can just tell them to start using it on Azure. And finally, it's the transact. The key aspect for us is to be able to transact on the marketplace because of the MAC commitments that customers do with us. But more importantly, you can actually negotiate private offers with customers. Now, it's not like a one price fits all, right? You want to create different SKUs. You want to also negotiate. For example, if you build a chatbot solution, the chatbot solution is typically the pricing for a chatbot solution is typically an API based. Now, your cost for a 20 people customer versus your cost for a 500,000 people customer, what a difference, right? You might actually discount that significantly. So how do you do that in the marketplace? You can create private offers that are specific to a customer for a specific period of a specific SKU that you want to. So that's how we really engage with the how that's how we really get you on board with the marketplace. Now there are a couple of things that you must remember here, and this is where this slide should have really talked through. So the first one is how do we engage, right? So first is, of course, I said 4 million users, that's direct to customers. More importantly, all of our CSP and LSP partners, CSPs are cloud solution providers, and some of those are also licensing providers. All of our CSPs have the ability to resell your solution to their customers. So how does the Microsoft model work? Microsoft basically has a bunch of what we call as cloud solution providers. These cloud solution providers actually provide cloud services, Azure services, other Microsoft cloud services to our customers. And our customers actually buy from partners, these partners, CSPs, not from Microsoft directly. So when you put your solution in the commercial marketplace, these partners can sell those solutions for a fee to the CSPs, to the customers. So what do the CSP partners get? They get a percentage of the agreement that you and the partner have with them. So for example, my chatbot solution that I talked about, they will have an agreement with one of the CSPs to say, every time you resell my product, I will give you 1%. And it's so seamless. There are no agreements. It's just something that you do on your partner center. You say, okay, with this partner, I want to give him 1%. With this partner, I want to give him 10%, and so on and so forth. So it's very seamless. There's very little paperwork you want to do. Everything is managed by the commercial marketplace and your partner center together. And then, of course, you've got the direct to customer, you've got the partner to partner, and then across Microsoft, there are 15,000 sellers who, like I said, are incentivized for taking a solution. They have a quota that they have to meet. That is called the IP co-sell quota. That is on the area VP. So it is on the subsidiary leaders scorecard metric that they have to meet in terms of numbers. So the 15,000 field sellers will want to sell some solutions to our customers. So that's the expanse of who and how you can take your solution to market. Last year alone, we did 170,000 deals and we generated $22 billion in revenue, not for Microsoft, but our entire partners that sold via the commercial marketplace. That's a lot in the saying. Of that 22 billion, I think we would have got about 10 to 15% as quota retirals for ourselves. But that's the revenue we helped generate for our partners. Now, when you get onto commercial marketplace, there is a certain cost of transaction fee, and that cost is related to usage of this entire infrastructure that I talked about. The industry standard used to be 20%. We brought that down to 3%, and a bunch of other people followed that. But today, a 3% transaction fee, a flat transaction fee, is charged for the amount that you sell your solution for. So for the $100 example, a 3%, $3 would be deducted, and that deduction is then added as billed expense to the customer. So the customer also knows how much he's actually spending on, the transaction fee that when they buy, and of course you also know how much you're giving to Microsoft as a transaction fee. All right. So with that, I want to quickly walk through marketplace rewards. So these are certain things we do. We help you with awareness, promotions, all of that I've talked through. But I also want to spend a minute to say what happens when you actually sell. So we come up with incentive programs for our partners every quarter. Right now, we're running an incentive program wherein if you have a quarter on quarter growth beyond a certain percentage on the marketplace sales, we will give you a percentage of that back in rebates, which means the 3% that we took from you, we actually almost give it back to you because of the sales that you're doing and the sales you're growing with. So there's one which is the construct of the work with commercial marketplace, and then every quarter we'll come up with new rebates, new ideas, new incentives for our partners to help drive this better with our customers. Okay, so I want to help you with that. And then finally, that's about it really from me. But I wanted to guys to know that, look, we're very open to work with you, and not because we just want to be part of the startup ecosystem or want to be part of the B2B SaaS ecosystem or etc. We want to work with you because our customers need you. Our customers really need you to drive the agility that they've been lacking. And our commitment is to help our customers transform faster, meet their board commitments on digital technologies and digital-led companies faster. And that is why we need you. And that is why we ask you to partner with us and work with us to take our solutions to our customers jointly. So with that, I'll stop. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take that. This is just the ecosystem of ISVs and ISVs we have today on the marketplace or selling like hotcakes across the world. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aditee. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. So hi everyone. So the floor is open for questions. I have unmuted you, so you can just unmute yourself and ask questions.
Hi, Aditee. Thanks for the awesome presentation. I'm Nidhastula from Ved. So actually, we want to be the part of this commercial ecosystem, right? So the marketplace. So where do we start? Because we are also a part of Microsoft Highway to 100 Unicorns, and I think this will be very valuable for us being part of this commercial ecosystem. So where do we start? And yeah, that would be my question.
Awesome. So Nirjesh, thank you. Sorry, am I audible? Yeah, okay. Nirjesh, thank you for the question. I should have covered it. Because you're part of the Highway to Unicorn, you're already engaging with Rijesh and Latika and her entire team. Please reach out to them. They will get you there is a step-by-step approach to how you engage with making your solution transactable on the commercial marketplace, and they'll help you with that. Otherwise, you've got my email address. I'll put it on the chat for everyone. So feel free to reach out and we'll help out with whatever we can. But that should be your first port of call.
Sure, Aditee. Thank you.
Aditee, we have a question in the chat.
Is that from, Xiaoyong? Is that the way to say it, Xiaoyong?
Hi, Aditee. Yeah, that's how you say it correctly. So we basically customize our product build for Microsoft Teams, and we are trying to get it onto the Teams store. But it's a little bit challenging. So when we ask for help, they ask us to purchase a action pack. So I'm not so sure if there's a way to get help other than this method. Yeah.
Can you tell me which geography you're from, Shayong?
We are from Singapore.
All right, great. So here's the thing, right? The action packs that have been mentioned in the Microsoft Partner Center, they are such that they help you get the required support from Microsoft really quick. So there's something called there's a team that sits at the back end called the Cloud Enablement Desk, and this team actually helps. With this entire onboarding with on the commercial marketplace, on Teams, on Azure, on Microsoft 365, and so on and so forth. Having said that, uh, if you need immediate help in time, you should connect to the recruit team or the team's recruit team in Singapore. And I don't know, Emily, if you can facilitate this or Shrijish, you can facilitate this. But the team that I'm talking about is actually the same as my team in India. We are chartered with helping you guys build Teams applications. So there is no reason why they would disagree to help you. And again, if it doesn't happen, if Shrijish, you're not able to connect, then just let me know. I'll make the right connections for Xiaom.
Sure, I'll take this up.
Hi, Aditi. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. That's Vasant.
Hi, this is Vasanta from Bangalore. I work for this company called FluxGen. We're part of the Highway to 100 Unicorns. Along with that, we've recently won this hashtag Bill for 2030 Hackathon Hero also. So we are kind of into the marketplace, but we've yet not started transaction. We've got some credits also. So just wanted to understand on how do we start the co-selling part and go to the market stuff. So we just need a bit of hand holding in that.
Sure. So wasn't a long-winded answer here because if you're already on the marketplace and transactable at the marketplace, then every solution sales that you do going forward should be via a private offer. And if that's not working out for you, then let us know. We'll help you make it happen. Who do you work with? Do you work with anybody in
Um,
India?
yeah, so I think we are in touch with Latika Pai. I mean, we had a conversation with her, also with Madhuri Khosla, I think, and
Yes.
also Shalina Bhatia, I think. So
Yes. Yes.
we've had touch with them. Yeah.
Super. So they're the right team. Latika obviously leads this whole exercise we're talking about, but Madhuri and Shaleen, both part of my team. I think you should just continue to engage with them and let
Okay.
them know that going forward, I want to do everything via marketplace. How will you make it happen for me?
Okay, sure. I'll get in touch with them again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Aditi, we have one more question from Laila in the chat.
Sorry, I'm not. Okay, hi. Is the commission? Um, Laila, to be honest, if you're selling your product to look, from a commercial marketplace perspective, it doesn't matter. If you're selling your MVP, you're selling your MVP and you sell it via the marketplace. But I would still argue that if your product is still an MVP stage, then there's no point in actually transacting it. Your customers don't want to buy an MVP. They want to buy a full-fledged product. Or at least a product that is complete in some form or the other to help them meet their use cases. So I'd say let's get the product in some shape or form. Let's make sure that we can solve some use cases with it and then make this transactable on the marketplace.
Okay. Ira, do you have any questions? Everyone, please feel free to unmute yourself. So Aditya, I don't think we have more questions from the audience. Thank you so much for coming in and doing this presentation. And yes, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You want to-
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to go about getting the logical into the Microsoft marketplace. Because the logical itself is a physical commodities trading platform, and also a
Ira,
marketplace for commodities.
I'm sorry, but your audio is very, very feeble. I'm not able to hear.
How about that? Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Do you want to connect offline, Ira? I mean, I'm happy to talk to you offline if you're out in the field right now, because it's really not.
Yeah, sure, sure. Shall I just give you my number on the chat box?
Sure.
Yeah, Aditee, I'll
Okay, I'll
connect
do
you with
that.
the separate email.
Yeah,
Right?
she just make the connection and then we'll take Ira's question offline because at least I can't hear him very clearly.
Sure.
Okay.
So we have one more question from Shayom.
If you want to connect our accounting software examples or to marketplace, it's the same process. It's the same process. Are you saying integrating into Zoho, Sheo, or just bringing Zoho to marketplace?
Hi, yeah, sorry, it's me again. So currently we are using Stripe to integrate with a whole bunch of payment providers because some of our customers don't really have access to a B2B corporate card. So would there be a way to link, let's say, our accounting systems to the marketplace so that everything is in one area or automated, so I don't have to bother my accountant for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, so one of the aspects of getting transactable in the marketplace is also a billing integration. So that billing integration actually happens between your product and Azure, and then you can get, you can also integrate back into your own accounting systems when you sell this. Absolutely possible. And you don't need Zoho or anybody to be on the marketplace. It's something that you can handle at the back end with APIs.
Hello, this is Divya Gali. Am I audible?
Yes, Devya, you are.
Yeah, I'm from Nepal. So I have a query with regards to this Azure. Here in Nepal, we are the AML solution provider, and currently we have added around 4 customers for whom we are planning to host the solution, and we are thinking of either to host it in Azure or in the local data center. Okay.
Mhm.
So in terms of Azure, we need SQL database. So, because our applications runs on the SQL database. Okay.
Right.
So I checked the price of Azure, and the SQL costing is too high comparatively. If I take it the standard license of SQL, comparatively that is much low. Okay. And as we are yet to utilize the credit limit that Microsoft has allotted to us, we are thinking of to propose our customers to go on Azure, and at the same time we can utilize those credits, as well as the customer can, we can pull the customers to Azure services so that they can continue to their service through Azure.
Yeah.
But I'm confused at this state that whether I would be able to offer the special price that how I'm thinking is that to allow the customers with that credit limit that we have received, and at the same time to make them sure that to continue the service at a lower price than the local data centers.
Right. Right. So a couple of responses there, Dibya, and I think we'll have to get into a little bit more details of your architecture to really figure out how to do this. So first things
Right.
first, when our customers buy SQL licenses on-prem, there is a mechanism for them to also leverage the same license that they bought on Azure as well. We call it D-Hub, and you should be asking your technical team that is working from Microsoft that is working with you how to leverage the D-Hub program for yourselves. That's the first part. Second bit is the advantage on SQL is not really moving a VM from on-prem to VM on the cloud. Okay, those licenses will obviously be different because you're not really comparing apples to apples. What you want to do is figure out if you can re-architect to move towards SQL PaaS. You can keep your front end and a middle tier the same, but you can change your data layer to be more to leverage the cloud native version of SQL using SQL Azure or something like that, which will bring down your costs significantly. And that will also depend on the number of users that are using it. So my suggestion is let's sit with your technical teams, re-architect your solution, and then based on that architecture, figure out what is the BOM and also where you can leverage the cross licensing that we allow customers for first party products on on-prem versus Azure.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think I need to connect with technical resources of Microsoft so that
Yeah.
we can figure out how we can work on this. And I'm really, really interested to take our services in Azure because we are adding up around 15 customers by this time. All of them are about to report to FIU. So our system is helping them to do this. But at the same time, it would be good if we can connect them on Azure and add-on customers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Look, your credits will last you for whatever they will last you. Beyond that, there is going to be a commercial discussion between you, Microsoft, and you and your customer. So if your product is not commercially viable at that point, then it doesn't make sense. So we should both Microsoft and who is working with you in Nepal, as well as yourselves, you should work together in this period to not just port the application as is, but also make the product viable for your customers when they leverage cloud.
Yeah, and that is the lack where I'm getting in Nepal, because we are not getting the right resource to connect over here. Here are business people, but definitely not the technical support team who can guide us correctly. And
Sujesh, can you
that
pick
is
this
where
up
we are
as an
lacking.
action? Sujesh, can I ask you to pick this up as an action with whoever's running the Highway to Unicorn and MFS in Nepal?
I'll take this up. I'll take this up.
Currently, I have been communicating with Scene, okay, and he is somehow active, but yet we are yet to know more on technical terms.
Sure, sure, Duyal. Let's take this up offline with Sujesh and the technical team and we'll take it forward.
Yeah.
I see a question from Mark, which is we are currently signing on Microsoft. Mark, ESIF and commercial marketplace, two completely different things. ESIF is when we invest in customers. It's called the end customer investment fund. We invest in our customers' transformation journey, and that investment goes to a partner. Commercial marketplace, completely different story. It's about how we sell products to our customers. Okay. Ira, I can see a question now. Not sure how my physical commodity trading platform and marketplace can be introduced into MS marketplace to promote my platform. That's right. So we've come across a lot of custom partners, product companies that have told us that, look, my product is not viable for marketplace. And we've always been able to work around that, in the sense, go back and tell them how it is. Even for example, one of my partners does a physical device for their SD vans, right? We are able to even get them onto a marketplace. So, commodity trading platform, absolutely possible. We are working with the likes of some of the biggies out here, including 63 Moons and others who also do these on marketplace. Will we promote you on the marketplace? Absolutely. When we engage with customers and are like I mentioned, when sellers take your solutions to the market, because there's a MAC, the Microsoft Azure commitment incentive there, we will push for marketplace first. More importantly, customers will push for marketplace first. So those promotions automatically happen. But if you're saying then Okay, if you Yes, we will absolutely assist you on the onboarding process in the integration of the billing and also the integration of Azure AD for a single sign-on process for our customers' environment. If you're currently on AWS, should you cancel AWS permanently and switch to Azure? Look, that's your call. But what I would say is this, that if you're engaging with our customers and if you're bringing opportunities to you and if you're leveraging the commercial marketplace for whatever reasons, and if you're going to put any GTM investments in you, absolutely, your being on the Microsoft cloud is hygiene. Whether you want to shut off your AWS and move completely to get better benefits from the Azure construct, that's your call. But I'd recommend you do that. How do we sign up to list our products in the commercial marketplace? Okay, this is seems like a common question. Shrijesh, what we should do is, as a follow-up on this, send a note to everybody on the exact steps and the methodology to bring on board the marketplace.
Sure, Aditee, I'll take this.
Yeah, let's take that as an action as well between us. Ira, I hope I answered your question. Okay.
I think Aditee, for further questions, we can take it offline.
Okay.
So guys, if you have any more questions, just reach out to me. I'll connect you with the right person.
Super.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again for joining in, team, and look forward to doing more work with you guys on the commercial marketplace.
Thank you so much, Aditee. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this webinar.